Graduation Day is always a day of rejoicing, for it marks the conclusion of an educational journey and the commencement of another, more uncertain and more difficult part of a person's quest for a better life and future. Truly, this day signifies the culmination of many years of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge that will enable a person to embrace opportunities and take on new challenges with clearer vision and purpose. A very good morning to one and all. My name is Liki Vijimo. I, along with my co-host, Mr. Daiguang Riamei, will be your host for the program this beautiful morning right here at DBITL Don Bosco campus.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Dr. D. Nana Dube, Vice Chancellor, St. Joseph University, Dimapur. Special guest, Dr. Hewasa L. King, Principal, Tetso College, Dimapur. Dr. Father A.J. Sebastian, former Professor of English, NU Lumami, spiritual leader, trainer, writer, academician, and a friend of the youth. Reverend Father Chaco Karim Thail, Governing Board Member of NEISSR, Present Director of Shalom Rehabilitation Center, Chumukedima. Dr. Father C.P. Anto, Principal of NEISSR, Founder and Director of Peace Channel, faculty members, graduates and their loved ones, special invitees and students. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome you all to the 6th Graduation Day cum Foundation Day of the Northeast Institute of Social Sciences and Research, Dimapur 2021.
Lord God, shower your blessings on this august gathering as we celebrate the achievement of these social scientists through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Lighting of the lamp represents a symbolic meaning that God is not only the creator, but the wise one who is generous and providing. The lighting of the lamp also symbolizes the blessing of God showered upon NEISSR.
Very good morning to everyone. Be what you are and be at its best. This auspicious morning, I have a very noble, at the same time, a humble task to be accomplished, namely to welcome all of you to the Foundation Day of Northeast Institute of Social Sciences and Research, and very importantly, the 6th graduation day of NEISSRians. A big congratulations to all acolytes of 2019 and 2021 batch of NEISSR. Today we are so privileged to have a Professor Gnanadure, Vice Chancellor of St. Joseph University, Dimapur, Nagaland, as our chief guest. Dr. Gnanadure is an academician with a span of administrative and governance experience, acclaimed administrator and accomplished educator. Professor Gnanadure has always believed in smart work with perseverance and has worked towards setting unique standards in academic affairs. As a dynamic, empathetic leader, he motivates many hearts and inspires many minds. He has been very closely associated with NEISSR for last couple of years, and he is widely known for his simplicity, honesty and trustworthiness. Let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. D. Gnanadure, the Vice Chancellor of St. Joseph University, to NEISSR community. It is said that a true friend is someone who is there for you when he or she would rather be anywhere else. It is very much true with our special guest, Dr. Hiwasa Loring King, the principal of Tetsu College, Dimapur, Nagaland. A couple of days back, when we were in a very difficult situation, when our previous special guest could not make it for the day, our choice was none other than Dr. Hiwasa Loring, a good friend of NEISSRians, a young upcoming academician, and she is known for her leadership and a passionate innovator in the higher education sector. Let's put our hands together once again to welcome dear Dr. Hiwasa Loring. We also warmly welcome our mentors, who has been constantly a guide and a fatherly figure for the NEISSR community. In the name of Professor A.J. Sebastian SDB, former HOD English Department of Nagaland University, and in the person of Father Chaco Kerindale, the governing board member of NEISSR and founding director of Shalom Rehabilitation Center, Dimapur, Chumkadima. Let's put our hands together to welcome them. Well, it's true, everyone can see the success, but not everyone can see the sacrifice, hard work, and the passion of our graduating acolytes. You did it, my dear friends, even though the situations were not very favorable for you due to the precarious and the pandemic COVID-19. According to me, they are the acolytes or children of COVID-19. Though they had to face lots of challenges and difficulties, they managed to overcome them, and I'm sure they will spread their wings to fly high and climb the ladder of success easier and faster. I'm very happy to announce that among 49 students appeared, all passed, and had 48 of them came out with the flying colors of first divisions and one with the second division. We also congratulate the first rank holder, Miss Newtholi Chishi, and Father Joseph Vijay, who scored the second, and Mr. Maso Mao, who secured third position in the university. We are also very happy to inform you, among these 49, 4 of them are already placed for job, and maybe 17 of them will be placed soon with a project which is already got permission. Well, graduating from NEISSR is an academic and spiritual accomplishment, a renewed commitment to the communities where they will be healing various sicknesses of the society wherever they are, and serving the society as social scientists, as Father A.J. Sebastian rightly put. We believe they will be choosing working for the poor and the marginalized, and become the voice of the voiceless in the communities and the societies wherever they are placed. Dear friends, you have proved with your life that dreams can come true if we have courage, commitment, and consistency to pursue our dream. Hearty welcome and congratulations to all the colleagues of NEISSR 2021. Let's put our hands together once again to welcome them. We are also so privileged to have Father Nebu, the rector, Father Verghese, Father Rajesh, and other sisters, and the special guest for this day, and along with we are pastors, parents, guardians, guest faculty members, directors and CEOs of NGOs, members from media fraternity, and my dear faculty members, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to the graduation and foundation day of NEISSR 2021. Yes, let's put our hands together once again. Let's give a big round of applause. Yes, as a principal, as a father to the NEISSRians, I have a short message for you. In fact, NEISSR is a dream of Catholic Church in Nagaland for many years to start this postgraduate program in MSW. The mission of the church through NEISSR is to educate the youth to make their life better, not by making them what they are good at, but making them what they are good for. Our education is aiming at empowering them to be more self-reliant, self-confident, and social entrepreneurs who will be bringing changes into their life and to the society at large. This realization of the dream to reality was not easy. It came to a great cost of sacrifice of students, faculty, management, and people, those who are associated with this. It is also an enriching experience for the people who are with us. Today, one of the biggest threat and challenge in Nagaland and in the region is to foster and maintain peace and harmony among all the sections of the society. We need people who are committed to preserve, prevent, and promote peace with the sound theories and concepts, with the practical experience. Therefore, we envisage Nagaland and Northeast India with a sustainable peace, developing our youth through youth development programs, developing our communities in Nagaland and Northeast India, focusing on developing our rural communities, and developing peace and promoting dialogue as peace builders, as a specialization of NEISSR, as a peace builders. And I'm sure these three specializations, which are unique to NEISSR, will set a new trend in the state of Nagaland and in the region where it is very urgently need of. The challenge of yesterday was how to educate our youth. But today our concern is to what to do with the educated youth. It's a challenge for all of us. Our youth in Nagaland and the region are smart, intelligent, hardworking, and could communicate English and climb the ladder faster than anyone else. But the challenges that are awaiting are very crucial. In this context, I would like to bring to the notice of you. We have in India over 1,003 universities, 38,500 colleges, 2.6 lakh teachers and faculty members, 3.74 crore students, and this bunch consists of 65% of India's population is youth below 35 years of age. A very powerful force. Swami Vivekananda said, "Give me 100 energetic youth, I can change the country." And this is the message as 49 of you are getting graduated. You are powerful, you are educated, you are skilled, your attitudes are developed, and your humility should stand firm to reach out to the unreached. Well, when the first revolution took place in 1770, people thought that steam engine is going to create havoc and reduce employment, and it was not a reality. And the second revolution, when it took place after 100 years, the invention of electricity, people thought that it is going to hamper again the progress and development and also the employment area of youth, but it replaced and it enhanced the employment. And when it came to the third revolution, after 50 years, the whole community, whole world thought it's going to be dangerous for youth. The computer, invention of computer. But again, it changed. And the fourth revolution where we are in is a digitalization, which is going to really challenge every one of us. The teaching and learning is going to be completely digital in the days to come. Machine learning, blockchain learning, robotic learning, and artificial intelligence, etc. are going to affect all of us. Yes, the world is changing in an unprecedented manner. The technology has changed life of every one of us, especially in this poignant pandemic situation on COVID-19. The children learned and teachers also learned something very unique, how to handle digital learning. Yes, my dear friends, the job that is awaiting is going to be very challenging for you. The question is, how are we prepared to face these challenges? The doctors can operate patient sitting miles away. Students and teachers can learn and do things or chat to anyone in the world at almost no cost. And we can never predict what would be the condition after just 5 years. Need not wait for 10 years of planning. Every year things are being changed. And we are in a new normal, a challenging situation. I do hope and pray, as the budding social work professionals and scientists, you need to constantly create a job rather than looking out for job. Let our youth be knowledgeable, skilled, and develop right attitude, values, and principles to enable and to empower to cope up with these challenges efficiently and effectively in the days to come. I believe with the God everything is possible. Let your hope, let your optimism, and let your possibility thinking be the new way of youth culture of Nagaland and Northeast India. A new generation who will stand up to express their thoughts freely, who will voice for the voiceless. Even the hurdles are there, and who will stand against the policies and laws and customs which is depriving unjust. And this is the role of a social scientist. You become a savior for the poor, marginalized and underprivileged. Yes, it implies a call for personal commitment and practice of our core values of mutual respect, integrity, courage and conviction, and humility and altruistic attitude will transform ourselves to transform the society. From the bottom of my heart, I wish all my students, acolytes, a successful and peaceful life, and once again, a hearty welcome to all of you. Let NEISSRians together say, excel in knowledge and service.
Excel in knowledge and service.
Thank you. God bless.
A very good morning to one and all. Respected chief guests, special guests, invited dignitaries, and ladies and gentlemen. I will be giving a short presentation on NEISSR and will be highlighting some of the important activities held. Northeast Institute of Social Sciences and Research is managed by the Diocese of Kohima, Nagaland, and is affiliated to Nagaland University. The motto of NEISSR is Excel in Knowledge and Service. Our vision. NEISSR's vision is to provide intellectual, social, physical, and social development of the youth by igniting the minds to realize their potential, to develop independent thinking and creative outlook towards life and a progressive, transcendent society. Our mission. NEISSR's mission is to contribute in building a new social order based on human dignity and social justice. Work with a preferential option for the vulnerable and exploited. Build a cadre of young professionals having global perspectives and a strong value based on compassion, personal integrity, moderation, tolerance, and self-respect. The culture. NEISSRians' culture is rooted in the Christian values of mutual respect, personal maturity, integrity, teamwork, and an inclusive approach to address social concerns. NEISSR promotes space for leadership, creative and innovative thinking among the students to initiate Professional Progressive Development Model, PPTM, as a unique model to enhance its culture. Our core values: spirituality, integrity, punctuality, transparency, humility, leadership, and mindfulness. NEISSR offers course in the MSW with 3 specializations, that is, Peace and Conflict Transformational Studies, Community Development, and Youth Development. And its objective is to develop employable professional skilled individuals to deal with both micro and macro level issues of the state and contribute towards the same by bringing positive changes and planned development. Uniqueness of NEISSR. The Institute is presented to the internal and external audience through formal and informal programs and has already created an image of a unique institution with its congenital ties with Peace Channel. The Northeast Institute of Social Sciences and Research was established based on the felt need of social work professionals, intervention and theoretical development for transforming communities arising out of a decade of Peace Channel intervention, work promoting peace education in educational institutions and communities. Peace Channel provides a platform for fieldwork practicum, focusing and preparing generations of young leaders, capable of professional facilitating peace building, conflict resolution, youth development, and sustainable community development, competent to work from grassroots to international levels. NEISSR also cooperates and collaborates in the programs and projects of Peace Channel as well. Administration. NEISSR's governing body has 3 levels: principal, vice principal, teaching staff, and non-teaching staff. NEISSR is headed by Principal Reverend Dr. Father C.P. Anto. The teaching faculties of NEISSR are namely Dr. Dolly H. Kipa, Assistant Professor, Reverend Father John Boji, Vice Principal, Dr. Ben Sharma, Assistant Professor, Ms. Sangjumdola Chamir, Assistant Professor, Mr. Stephen Kangmai, Assistant Professor, and Mr. Abel Arena, Assistant Professor, and 2 non-teaching faculty, namely Mr. Jeffrey Lugan and Ms. Timsiala Longomar. Networking with institutions. NEISSR actively networks with the following institutions for exchange learning, collaboration, and partnership programs. Following are International Institute of Peace and Development Studies, Bangkok, Thailand, PHE Society's Center for Studies in Rural Development of Social Work and Research, Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. Visva Bharati University, Santi Niketan, West Bengal, Sacred Heart College, Tirupatur, Vellore, Tamil Nadu, Catholic Health Association of India, Bangalore, PKM College Education, Madabam, Kerala, UNICEF, Y, New Delhi, India, Choidi Vidyabit Women's University, Jaipur, OP Jindal Global University, Sonipur, Haryana, Vedic IAS Academy, Bengaluru, Karnataka, University of Rhode Island, USA, TIS, Guwahati, Assam. NEISSR also signed an agreement for students and faculty exchange program with Center for Studies in Rural Development, Institute of Social Work and Research. It has a premier of MSW Institute in Maharashtra. NEISSR also has a library with around 5,000 books and is subscribed to journals, magazines, and e-books. Some of the important activities of NEISSR are orientation program, rural camp, study tour, workshops, webinars, and seminars. Students' academic performance and job placement status for the last 5 years. This data is collected after the completion of the MSW course. From the year 2014 to 16, 73% were employed, 23% unemployed, and 4% for further studies. From the year 2015 to 17, 68% employed, 32% unemployed. From the year 2018 to 16 to 18, 84% employed, 11% unemployed, and 5% further studies. In the year 2017 to 19, 68% were employed and 30% unemployed and 2% further studies. From the year 2014 to 2019, the pass percentage of NEISSR has constantly been 100%.
Dr. Anto, Principal, and Dr. Hevsai King, Principal, Tesso College, Dr. Father Sebastian, and other dignitaries, young graduates, parents, press and media, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you all. So I am really very happy to stand before in the 6th graduation day of this institution. As outset, first I would like to congratulate to all the graduates. My hearty congratulations to all. This social work or social workers, you are now the graduates and you are the budding social workers So I would like to tell about the importance of the social workers. It is also just like a professional one. So normally professionals in the sense, we used to say it's a doctor is a professional, engineers is a professional. But social workers are very important professionals. Because you know, doctors can create a healthy world. Engineers can create a sophisticated world by inventing so many high-tech things. But only the social workers can create a peaceful world. You think a healthy and a sophisticated world and peaceful, which one is very important? Without peacefulness, the other two things are waste. So you should know your responsibility. Now you can add another 3 letters behind your name, MSW. Really, you may feel proud. But that MSW degree is given by you by studying some or undergoing some courses and appearing in the examinations and getting some knowledge in the field of your social work with different specialization. But you think whether you are having only the degree letter in paper in your hand or you have learned something. That is very, very important. Today, the education, many type of educations are like providing only degrees. But you think whether you are getting a degree or you are having enough knowledge as a social worker. It is very, very important. In this your anthem, institutional anthem, the 3 words are very attractive for me. Peace for everyone. To serve with love and courage. To be the source of hope. So peace for everyone and to be the source of hope for whom? The society, the needy people, the poor people. So you are the hope. So you should know your responsibility as a social worker. When I talked to the principal, Dr. Anto, I just raised one question. How many the young graduates or the graduates, those who have completed the MSW, will be working in the core area? Because you know, many engineers and doctors, after completing their profession, very particularly engineers, only 40% are working in the core area. Another 60% engineers are working in different field as they like. But I come to know 80% of graduates who are working in the core area. It is really a happy news because your need is very much important for the society to bring the peacefulness. Without peacefulness, though we can do anything else, the future of the world will be a question mark. Today the peacemaking or the peacefulness among the society is questionable. Do you know what is the reason for that? And what do you have to do for that? So I want to convey you 2 important messages. One is, what among the needy people, and peacefulness can be easily created if you create an emotionally intelligent human being. You have to create emotionally intelligent human being. At the same time, you should also be emotional balanced people. Because today, the lack of peacefulness is because of lack of emotional intelligence. Because of emotions, human beings are reacting in a different way, impulsive way. So that there is a restless among the society people. So your responsibility is, you should create your own, you have to control your own emotional intelligence or emotions, and also you got to create emotional balance among the society. So this emotional intelligence we can categorize into four things. One is self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. Among the four, the relationship management is very, very important thing. Because this relationship management, lack in relationship management will create lot of problems. It creates restlessness among the society people. So the relationship balance, relationship management you have to create among the society. So what you are going to do as a social worker, that you think. When you acquire a degree, it is not for your own employments. As Father Anto rightly pointed out, you need not to be an employable one. You should also create employments. That is very important. So as a social worker, what you are going to do to create the peacefulness among the society? That should be your main thinking. After getting the degree, you should think, what I am going to do to create the peace in the society. That is the responsibility or duty, one of the duties of the social workers. In developed countries, the contribution of the social workers are more, and the importance and the dignity is more when compared to developing country like us. But it is your responsibility to create your own dignity just by excel in your work. Really, your motto is a very good motto, excel in work and service. So what you are going to do to excel in your work? So just think and find out the answer. Then definitely you are one of the important sources to create the peacefulness among the society. This is very, very important thing. And the second message I want to convey is the main responsibility of the social workers is to create peacefulness. At the same time, you have to save the earth. Because you have to work with the community. You have to work with a group of people. Now you think the entire earth as a globe, save the earth. You know what I mean? Now we are having a very big threat regarding the pollution and the green room effects. Definitely you think after 50 years or 60 years, the earth will be like that or not, no one can predict. Scientists has predicted that after 30 years, due to global warming, the temperature will be increased so that North and South Antarctica, that ice will become as water. Then at least 20 or 30 cities will come under the sea level. If it happens, what will be the status of the world? Who will create the awareness about this? You have to create the awareness about this one to society. Otherwise, we cannot save the world. I will give a very simple example how the pollution takes an important part. You see, so many bottles are there. When I was at the age of 25 or 26, such bottles were not there. Only a pure river water with the glasses. Now you see the bottles. How it comes? It is a purified water. It means now there is a water scarcity, so that this will become as a business, and for drinking of 1 liter water we go to spend 20 to 30 rupees. So within a span of 30 years this is happening. Do you know what will happen after 30 years? Do you know what is now happening at Delhi? Such type of bottles, now they are having a small oxygen cylinder because the air is being polluted. So that people are having a small oxygen cylinder. Every day they are breathing for 1 hour or 2 hours to get a fresh air. Imagine, if it goes like that, even after 30 or 50 years, there is an oxygen scarcity. then how you will live? It is a basic that is a need for human being. But due to pollution, due to so many things that human beings are doing, that is a deforestation, then emission usage of many vehicles, plastic usage, this contaminated the entire year. Finally, we will be starving for the good oxygen. Now it is happening. A small cylinder is 600 rupees. So one person per 1 month, we need one cylinder. Just imagine. In a family, 4 members are there means, then we need 4 cylinders. 2,500 rupees should be spent for the oxygen, which is very basic need, which is naturally available. Because of mismanagement of the environment resources, this is happening. So as a social worker, what you are going to do to save the earth? This is the question I am posting to you. You think. It is very difficult to live in the world after 50 or 60 years. Scientists are again cautioning that every 100 years the temperature will be increased by 1 degree. Imagine, every 100 years 1 degree means after 500 years it will become as a 5 degree rise. So the human being cannot tolerate the temperature. So this is the people like you, the social workers, it is your duty to create awareness among the public or society to save the world. So my dear young graduates, you think about the real threats of the entire community or the entire globe. So what you have to do? This is your real responsibility, because without a proper, we can create peacefulness and all the things. If we destroy the nature, if you are not having enough awareness about the nature, then how we can maintain the globe? As you all know, the Amazon forest, 30% of the Amazon forest was destroyed by fire accident. It is being termed as the lungs of the world. So 30% of the lungs of the world has been already destroyed. That is why these type of things will be happening. Due to the problem of that is the scarcity of oxygen, again a lot of problem will be coming because the ozone layer will be destroyed. So these are all the things you will be facing in future. The society will be affected because of these things. Do you know these things or not? Is one thing. After knowing this, what you are going to do to create the awareness among the society to save the world? That is the important responsibility of you. I am really very happy to receive some of the small plant. When I received the plant, it was given to the father. I asked whether it is a plastic or it is a original, because I doubted, because nowadays we are using only plastic. So really happy. It is a small plants you have planned to give as a gift. So that is the only solution for this type of pollutions. Tree plantation is very, very important, because we have already destroyed many of the forest. So we can recover our forest by tree plantation. The best solution for pollution is dilution. For that tree plantation is very, very important. So my dear young graduates, I am really happy to address you in this fine morning and convey the important message, which is really a threat for the world. This forum is the right forum, because you are the right people to create the awareness among the society. That is why I am addressing you. Finally, I would like to conclude my word with a word from Bible, which is very much related to your, that's a motto. Do you see a man who excels in work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. This is somewhat related with the excelling in your work. So if you are excelling in your work, whatever you do, whatever social work, whatever the thing you can do, try to excel in your work, then you will stand before the kings. What is the meaning of that word? your life will be uplifted. You will be stand before the higher authorities. You will have a bright future. Not only you, and the society will also be uplifted because of your service. So my dear young graduates, keep in our mind what you are going to do for save the earth. What you are going to do for creating emotional intelligence among the society, people of the society, to create peacefulness. You think and work towards it, because you are the correct persons to think and achieve these things. So again, I would like to congratulate all the graduates. Congratulations to all. So finally, I would like to thank Dr. Father C.P. Anto for inviting me as a chief guest for this function. Thank you very much.
Respected Chairperson, Principal of NEISSR, Dr. Father C.P. Anto, our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. D. Nanadurai, Vice Chancellor of St. Joseph University, Dr. Father A.J. Sebastian, who is my former principal when I was a student, dignitaries who are here today, staff and students of NEISSR, and of course the graduating class of 2021, along with their parents and well-wishers. Thank you so much for this important honor to be a special guest on this very important and significant day in NEISSR, the 6th Graduation and Foundation Day. I bring warmest greetings from Tetso College, and on behalf of the Tetso family, I extend our heartiest congratulations to the class of 2021 for completing a milestone. I'd also like to congratulate NEISSR as it crosses another year on this Foundation Day. Our chief guest has already covered everything that needs to be said, so I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible in the interest of time. Graduation day for a student is always one of the most memorable days in a student's life. It marks the end of one chapter, but the beginning of a new journey. So as you start this new journey, I'd like to share a quote with you all. This quote is from the Enchiridion by a Stoic philosopher, Epictetus. According to Epictetus, some things are in our control and others are not. The things that are in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Today, the graduating class of 2021, you are all here because of your own actions, because of the hard work that you have put in to come this far. To go a bit more deeper into this quote, I'd like to refer to a card allegory. I don't know how many of you play cards or may have seen others play cards, but when you're handed a deck of cards, the thing is, the cards don't know you or they don't care who you are. The cards don't have a concept of fairness. We're just dealt the hand of cards and we're left to deal with the fallout, to interpret the noise, or how we choose to play the game. The most we can do when we're handed out a set of cards is to learn to set aside what we can do nothing about and instead focus on controlling what we can. Now, our world today is changing so rapidly, and we've seen it with the pandemic in the past year. It's changed so rapidly that those with more tools in their possession will be able to better navigate the uncertainty. To make it in today's world, it's so important to be agile and flexible. We have to be ready to be quick and responsive to the changing environment. And you're all of you here are capable of that. You're all young, you're all spirited, you're all in that perfect stage of life to do that. please remember that the education that you've pursued, the accomplishment that you have had, is just a tool. Yet it's such an exciting tool. It's an exciting tool which you can use to transform your worlds, to make the things or the world around you much better. Education is not only about securing ranks or getting degrees, but when you're looking at the bigger picture, it involves all of life's experiences, the skills that you acquire along the way, whether it will be in the field of sports, art, music, or whatever talent or passion you may want to pursue further. Education can empower you to transform the world around you, to become better versions of yourselves, and thereby help you to live life more purposefully and meaningfully. I'd like to just briefly share the educational journey of my father, Dr. P.S. Lori, who passed away this year, but who is an inspiration to me, who along with my mother established Tetso College in the year 1994. My father had very humble beginnings. He was born to farmer parents in Pensioner village, and his parents, though, never really had the opportunity to receive a formal education. So naturally, my father's schooling began in the village in lower primary school in Pensioner. And since this was during the time of the Indo-Naga conflict, when insurgency was also at its peak, like many Nagas who were born during his time, there was a brief interruption in their education. He had to hide away in the village, in the jungle, with his family for about 3 years. Fortunately, after this, though, he was able to continue his education, and he went on to Kohima to complete his high school. From Kohima, he was able to make it to Shillong to complete his graduation. From Shillong, he reached Delhi, where he completed his MA in Delhi University. After that, he went on to pursue his MPhil at Jawaharlal Nehru University. After this, he taught for about 5 years at NEHU. And after his years of teaching, he then went on to secure a Fulbright scholarship awarded by USIEF, the United States India Educational Foundation, where he had the opportunity to pursue his PhD at Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, USA. I'm sharing my father's educational journey with you all, not to highlight about his life here though. It's to make a point that if someone from the village, like my father, with socioeconomic challenges, could make it from the village to the towns across India and move beyond abroad, then there is no reason why the younger generation, all of you, who have had, I believe, a much more stronger head start than our parents or grandparents, there's no reason why you cannot do the same or achieve something even greater. I think that most or all of our younger generation today have had the opportunity to receive a pretty decent education. Many of you can write better, speak better, and have had opportunities of higher levels of education than your parents or grandparents. If we are to look at it today in Nagaland, it's not that education is lacking anymore. To share some stats with you all, in 2011, the population census literacy rate in Nagaland stood at 79.55%. In 2019, as per the Nagaland University Result Gazette, we had an overall pass percentage of 72.85%. That's a total of 6,161 graduates from Nagaland in the year 2019. Every year we're churning out graduates by the thousands. We have plenty of educated people in Nagaland. How employable or skilled are we to confront the challenges of the real world is something that we need to ponder upon more deeply. And another thought that I'd like to leave you all to reflect upon more deeply is our society's value system. We don't seem to be lacking in education anymore, but what we seem to be lacking more of, more than anything else, seems to be a value system. A strong value system where we can keep our word. A strong value system where we can choose right over wrong, no matter how strong the temptation is at times. A strong value system where we can choose honesty and truth and integrity over corruption and extortion, the kind that we see happening so rampantly in our state today. We need to use our education and learning to transform the world around us. We have education, and that same education, though, can be used to exploit people and take advantage of the ignorant or the lesser privileged. Yet, we must know that that same education can also be used to change lives. It can be used to create better employment opportunities, to start companies, organizations. It can be used to write beautiful and inspiring poetry, to publish books, and to do so much more good in this world. NEISSR has been at the forefront of changing and transforming lives through its transformative education and its wholehearted efforts at providing not just degrees and diplomas, but molding spirited individuals who are willing to contribute back to society and to make society a better place for all of us. The Seoul College hopes to send our own graduates to NEISSR to complete the purpose and the vision and mission of what NEISSR is trying to do, and we look forward to a continued future collaboration. I believe that each one of us in this world has an important role to play, and I conclude with this, that each one of us in our circles, whether big or small, we must use education for that specific purpose, that is to transform this world into a better place. I wish all of you graduates today all of the very best in your future endeavors, and hope that through all of you, we will soon be able to see a better and more hopeful future for Nagaland. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Kenisa Rochaliu, former Vice President, Student Council for Social Change, SCSC, NEISSR, for his address.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Chief Guest, Professor Dr. D. Dimapur, Vice Chancellor, St. Joseph University, Special Guest, Dr. Hiwasa L. King, Dr. Father C.P. Anto, Principal NEISSR, dignitaries, and to all the special invitees. There's a famous Nigerian proverb that says, "It takes a whole village to raise a child," which means that the upbringing of a child is an effort that can only be successfully completed at the collective efforts of the community, of the people, sowing into the life of the child, training and disciplining so that they can grow up to be a successful and independent human being. Everyone in the village carries within them something that the little child is going to need in order to successfully grow up. In the same spirit of the proverb, I want to submit to each and everyone present here on this momentous occasion that it takes the whole NEISSR community to raise a whole individual. I, Kenisa Rochaliu, on behalf of NEISSR, class of 2019 to 21, would like to express my sincere gratitude to each and every individual of the NEISSR community who has helped us come to this point in our life while we had the opportunity to walk across this stage, having finished 2 vigorous years of preparation. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Reverend Dr. Father C.P. Anto, Principal of NEISSR, for taking up this role and inspiring the students with your humility and burning desire to see young people change the world for a good cause in whichever field they have been called to. To Father John Poji and the faculties, thank you for constantly presenting us with content that has challenged our minds and gave us platforms to go beyond it. Your tireless efforts have paved the way for each and every student here at NEISSR to have the best experience possible and shaped us to become a better individual. To lifelong friends that we have made, it is all because of you that this journey in NEISSR has been one of a kind. You see, without the help of each of this group that has been named, it would be impossible for each graduate to be sitting where they are today. It takes each and every person in the community of NEISSR working together in unity to raise a whole person. Each person is invaluable on the quest that we had been on for the last 2 years to become whole persons. And though we haven't reached the pinnacle of wholeness just yet, I can assure you that because of the training and the development, love and relationship that we have received, we have been adequately equipped to walk up the journey being whole persons. To my upcoming juniors, seize every opportunity or hurdles thrown away. This institute has much to offer. We recognize that there will be failures and acknowledge that there will be obstacles. You're going to meet naysayers in every turn you make, but through the chorus of naysayers, immerse yourself as a leader in service and continue to gain momentum. I leave you today with the words of Ernie Howell. It's time to say goodbye, but I think goodbyes are said, and I'd rather much say hello. Hello to a new adventure. Excelling knowledge and service.
Excelling knowledge and service.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kene, for that meaningful message and words of gratitude, experiences and encouragement. And now, we have come to the most awaited moment, and it is time that we acknowledge our hardworking and competent, talented graduates seated here. Today is not just a mere graduation day, because today the graduates will also reap what they sowed for the past couple of years. Surely you will be paid off well for all the efforts you have exerted. You are not only the ones who are proud of yourselves, but I'm sure that even your friends and family are very proud of you and your achievement. And so, to formally recognize all of you, may I now invite our man, Atul Jamir, Assistant Professor NEISSR, to present the graduates. Ma'am, you can come and take your time.
Respected Professor Dr. D. Nanadurai, Vice Chancellor, St. Joseph University, Dimapur. Dr. Hewasa L. King, Principal, Texas College, Dimapur. Reverend Dr. Father C.P. Anto, Principal, NEISSR. Dignitaries and special invitees, faculty members, students, parents, and most importantly, the graduates. Good morning, everyone. Today is a very special day for all of us gathered here. Graduation is always such a special occasion. The culmination of years of hard work, the realization of goals achieved, and the recognition of accomplishments. So it is only fair that we commemorate the journey we have all taken together over the last 2 years today. It is such a beautiful privilege to bear witness to how these fine young men and women have grown in confidence, knowledge, kindness, and faith. Today I stand here, privileged and honored to have been given the opportunity to call out the names of the 49 graduates of the batch 2019-21. This year's class of 2019-21 has been outstanding. Each of you finished a course of study as a student at this institute that was designed to prepare you for life after your master's degree, whether it be through further education, the beginnings of a profession, or your lives as engaged citizens working to make our world a better place. You have all been a class of exceptionally hardworking and successful young adults who have been optimistic, passionate, and kind. You have had a huge impact on this institute, and we are grateful for everything that you have done for yourself, your institute, and our community. Now, on behalf of the principal of NEISSR and the staffs, I present you with the following students for the Masters of Social Work degree, for which they have been pronounced qualified by the Nagaland University on the 27th of October 2021. Now, as I call out your names, I request all of you to come forward one by one and receive the certificate from our honorable guest, Professor Dr. D. Nanadurai, Vice Chancellor, St. Joseph University, Dimapur. Ms. Achila Inchomar. Ms. A. Kelebo Sumi. Ms. A. Yangshimila. Ms. Abitole Yeptolu. Miss Bopen Wong. Mr. Chundongo Jami. Reverend Father Joseph Vijay. Miss Elisha. Miss Kekroyole. Mr. Kenisevor Chalyo. Mr. Ketosele Chalyo. Mr. Kevi Kape. Mr. Kutsuto Walter. Miss Kilitoli Achumi. Mr. Koniba Jinru. Miss Krishna Priya. Mr. Lanusanan Zadir. Miss Lipavi Yapto. Miss Longtila Samton. Miss Loy Beni. Miss Mercy Obong. Miss Monopolo. Mr. Chong Chong Chen. Miss Nutoli Jijishi. Mr. Nikini Moso. Miss Nutsubalo, Miss P. Hoikam, Miss Priscilla Jimo, Miss Rosasano Keho, Mr. Renchamo, Miss Romano, Miss Selin R.S., Miss Sikuichi, Mr. Desobitio Kense, Mr. Tacheto, Miss Sopovino, Miss Sopovino, Mr. Tsase, Miss Unomono, Miss Venus, Miss Vilino K. Kini, and Miss Vinika Achumi. Now I take a moment to read out the names of the students receiving their certificates in absentia. Mr. Kesiam Kat, Miss Kong Pam, Mr. Lumchamo Kikon, Miss Nishili Sumi, Miss Non Mai, Miss Reggie V, Mr. Sin Lo Sem, and finally Miss Toli Yepto. Now I request everyone present here to show their appreciation for the success of Masters of Social Work graduates, the batch of 2019 to 2021, by saying, "Excel in knowledge and service."
Excel in knowledge and service.
Thank you. Now moving on, we have some special awards for the students. As we all know, the NEISSR Students' Council for Social Change is a student body which plays an important role towards the welfare of the students and the upliftment of the institute. So today, we would also like to appreciate and acknowledge the Student Council members of 2019 to 21 for all their hard work, determination, and their immense contribution towards building a safe and secure environment for all the students and uplifting the name of the institute. Therefore, I would like to kindly request Mr. Kenny Sevorchalio, former Vice President of the Students' Council 2019-21, to kindly come forward and accept the certificate of appreciation on behalf of all his colleagues from our honorable guest, Dr. Hewasa L. King, Principal of Tetso College, Dimapur. This year, the Best Student 2021 goes to Mr. Nikini Moso. With the cash award sponsored by Mr. C.P. Joy and his family.
Today I stand here on behalf of 2019 to 2021 batch to say a few words of gratitude and share our experiences. It is a dream that comes true. Stepping into this NEISSR is like taking a nap. So in the nap we have a dream, and today we woke up in a Disneyland with a lot of colors. Staying in this NEISSR, it is a great experience, and also it is also an opportunity for us to develop our skills, to improve our knowledge, and also to become a more responsible person. Many of us, while staying in this NEISSR, we face many personal problems, family problems, loss of interest, but we're able to achieve it, and we have come here today to celebrate our graduation day. Today, we're one step ahead of yesterday. Now I go further with a word of gratitude. I say thank you to our principal, Father Anto, who has been very kind, who has been giving us motivation, who has been trying to improve our knowledge through his various broad mind, through his experiences, and through various things that he tried to develop us. I also would like to thank our Vice Principal, Father John, although he's not here. He's been very calm and kind, and also he's very approachable. So it is also a moment of learning through him how to be cool and calm in any situation. I also would like to thank the faculties, starting with Dr. Amit, although he's not present here today. He's been my supervisor for most of the semesters. He is very trusting to me, and he gave me a lot of opportunity to explore he gave me a lot of free space to explore and also to learn. I thank him, although he's not here. I also would like to thank Ma'am Atu. She is our guide, especially in our YD class. She's been very friendly, and also she gives us a lot of knowledge. She gives us a lot of, including the soft skills, she teaches how to behave and also how to approach people. I thank you, ma'am, for giving us a lot of knowledge. I also would like to thank Dr. Toli. She's like a mother to all the NEISSRians. She has been very kind and compassionate. She always gives us advice when we need it, and also even though at times if we don't approach her also, she just come and help us out. Thank you, Ma'am Toli. I also would like to thank Dr. Diben. He's like a dictionary, also a Google to every one of us. So he have a lot of knowledge. He enlightened us with various topics during the class and also outside. I thank Dr. Diven. I also would like to thank Sir Stephen for his teaching, for his guidance. His teaching is very interesting. He gives a lot of examples through his experiences. It's a great learning for each and every one of us. Thank you, sir. I also would like to thank Sir Abel, although we're late, but he is ever ready to help us out, and thank you for being here. Thank you, sir. I also would like to thank Dr. Imnak, although she is not here. During our first semester, she has been our mentor, and during the time when I was the CR, she has been constantly guiding me how to walk about, and also how to improve, and also how to help out people. So I would personally like to thank Dr. Imnak. I also like to thank Miss Susan in her absence. She also have helped us a lot in guiding us at the office, and also she has been a faculty. So, and I would like to thank the guest faculties for imparting a lot of knowledge to us. I also would like to thank the non-teaching staffs, Sir Jeffrey, Ma'am Temsu, Dada Joseph, Didi Teresa, although she's not here, Didi Kaisa, for being 911 to us. When we called them in need, they are ever willing to help us out. So I would like to thank each and every one of them. I also would like to thank the parents and guardians of everyone. If you are not there, or if you are not willing to help, then my mates, we would not be here. Or even if we're here, then we may not be wearing this gown and celebrating our graduation day. So through your supports, through your various help in various ways, it has built us up, and we are here on this day, and we thank each and every one of you. I also would like to thank all the supervisors and the fieldwork agency supervisors. During my first semester, I worked at El Shaddai Academy and also Holy Cross, then the village councils during the community survey, and also Don Bosco Vocational Training Center, 3rd Mile, while I was working for my internship. So I would like to thank each and every one of them for giving me such opportunity to build myself. Two of my seniors are here. I don't know how many of them are here. I would like to thank them. During our first semester and second semester, they have been very helpful. They have been guiding each and every one of us. They have been constantly approaching us and telling us what to do and what not to. And I would like to thank them for their constant guidance. I also would like to thank the juniors, although it's a little bit rude to call juniors, but the situation compels me to at this present moment. So I would like to thank each and every one of you for being such, for giving your brotherly and sisterly love to each and every one of us, and especially to me. When we need your help, you're just willing to help us out, and also you're very approachable. Thank you, each and every one of you, for also giving us an opportunity to learn more, and also to be how to go about later on in the society. I would like to thank my comrades for being such a wonderful classmates. You have given me a lot of opportunities to explore, and also to explore various things, and also we would be missing those moments of those arguments, those debates in the class, especially regarding women empowerment. Yeah, we will be missing those days. Yeah, this disagreements is not just about. It's not a bad thing. It's all about developing one another, because we have different unique ideas. So when everything is compiled, then disagreement occurs, but after all, solution happens. Solution comes. I would personally like to thank my partner or friend, Mr. Loha Shuzo, for for giving his constant guidance. For 2 semesters, I have been with him. For the first and second semester, he was the Vice President of Student Council. So he, through his experience, he gave me a lot of guidance, and also while staying home, he constantly give advice on how to work or how to be a better person. Thank you. It will not be nice if I miss out a person. I would personally like to thank my buddy, Father Joseph. You have been very helpful to me, and also I could say that you are the best buddy. And through you, I have learned many things. Your simplicity, your humbleness, and also your approach towards us. Every day when you come to us, you smile and say, wishes us good morning. By the way, I start having crush with your smile. Before this ends, I, on behalf of my classmates, would like to ask pardon if we have offended any one of you, or if we have been rude to any one of you. So do forgive us. Please do continue to support us as we move on, and we will be very appreciated. We will appreciate your support through prayers, and also through this emotional support and spiritual support. Before I end, I would like to give it's not exactly a quotation, but I just find it very useful. This find a motivator to achieve or become someone. And if you don't find any motivator, be the motivator.
Congratulations to each and every graduate here. We wish all of you the very best for your future endeavor. And also not forgetting Mr. Nikilimoso for being awarded as the best student. A very big congratulations to you on your achievement. And thank you for your valuable and inspirational words of gratitude.
We are coming to the end of our program, but we have saved the best for the last. And may I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. D. Nanadure, to release the annual magazine of NEISSR, Eureka, and also the Job Placement Brochure 2021. And I request our Principal, Dr. Father Cipianto, to kindly come forward and do the honor alongside him. Once again, I request our Principal, Dr. Father Cipianto, to kindly escort Dr. Hewasa in order to release the new anthem. And I request everyone present here to please stand and sing along as the new NEISSR anthem is played.
We are marching
protection from middle lives to live on as nature ends.
Service with love and integrity. Stand firm for peace and justice. Service with love and integrity. Stand firm for peace and justice.
May I call upon Dr. Toli H. Kiba, Assistant Professor in NEISSR, to kindly come and deliver the vote of thanks.
Greetings to you all. I stand here on behalf of NEISSR fraternity, and today I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all of you for joining us. To our chief guest, Professor Nana Durai, the Vice Chancellor of St. Joseph University. Sir, we would like to thank you for your presence today, and we also would like to thank you that not only for today, but for rendering your service to the people here in Nagaland and also in northeastern region. We would also like to thank Dr. Heosa King, Principal of Tetso College, Dimapur. Your presence here today is an inspiration to many young ladies, young boys, gentlemen sitting here today. We thank you for your service towards molding and nurturing the young people in our society, and I believe that you are doing a great job, and I believe that you'll make our young boys and young girls better citizens. I would also like to thank Dr. Father Sebastian and Father Chaco. You are both our backbone, NEISSR backbone, and your presence and your cooperation has always been an inspiration and also as a joy for all of us. Thank you so much. We would also like to thank, acknowledge and thank the presence of fathers and sisters and all our invitees for your presence today. You have made this day a very special one for us. To all the parents of graduating, for our graduate students, we thank you for your presence today. We would also like to thank the media team, your presence here and your help. We acknowledge your presence in all our programs and for always making our day a very special one. We would also like to thank the faculty members, the staff, and the students of NEISSR. Today, actually, since last few days, you have been really working hard to make this day a successful one, and I believe that your hard work has actually paid off. Thank you once again. I would also like to thank the DBDIL for allowing us to use this hall. Every time we need a hall to conduct our program, you have always given us that space. So thank you so much. We also want to thank all the graduate students here. Once again, congratulations to all of you, and we thank you for coming today. So lastly, I would like to thank each and every one of you here today. You have made our day a very special one. Thank you all.
Now we have the benediction. Therefore, may I request Reverend Father Chaco Karintayil to kindly come forward and lead us in the benediction. And we would also like him to receive a small token of appreciation. And to do the honor, may I request our Sir Abel Arena, Assistant Professor NEISSR, to kindly come forward.
Heavenly Father, giver of all that is good and great, thank you for this fellowship here. Thank you for boys and young men and women who have dedicated their lives to make this world a better place. Bless them. We entrust them to your care as they go out, moving out from here to the world of reality. Bless them with courage, with conviction, with fire, as you yourself came into this world. We pray for all those with whom they will be working. We thank you, all those people who made them who they are. Bless them. May this institute continue to be a light and the salt for the society here. Bless all our students, bless this faculty, and bless all of us here. We thank you and pray that we will continue to use your blessing to make this world a better place. We make this prayer in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
My name is Chano Jami and I'm from Lata community. What impressed me the most in NEISSR is that friendliness and support shown by the faculties as well as the management towards the students that impressed me the most.
Hi, I'm Abidu Livia Tommy. Talking about my experience in NEISSR, I had a great learning experience and also had encountered many challenges and opportunities which has built my confidence level to face the society and also made me a better person today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Nimoso and I'm going to speak about the experience in Study Tour. During the 9 days of Study Tour, we went and visited many organizations where we learned about their functionings and also their various works engagement. In the interaction, they have also shared about various challenges and also the various progress that they have been putting in, and this has brought about the inspiration and motivation to the trainee. This will help the trainee to later on help the society, where it will bring about some different changes, and also it will help various people in empowering especially the youths in the society.
Hello, my name is Sopovino Zotso. My experience in NEISSR was very fruitful. I was able to adapt and socialize with people, as well as I was able to build my confidence. Thank you.
I'm Krishna Priya S, and my message to my upcoming juniors is to take on any challenges that is thrown at you, because NEISSR is the place where you can make mistakes. At the same time, learn from the mistakes and achieve the most successful achievements. Thank you.
I'm Father Joseph. I'm from Kerala. I just completed my MSW. I'm going to be graduated today. And it has been a very pleasant experience for me to undertake this MSW study at NEISSR. And I really enjoyed the family spirit at NEISSR. We had a lot of friendship, a lot of fellowship, and the atmosphere of learning was really fantastic. There was a cordial relationship between the faculty members and the students, and we really lived that spirit of family at NEISSR. And my specialization was mainly on peace and conflict studies, and what I learned mainly from these studies is that in order to have sustainable peace, it is not enough to resolve the conflicts, but we also need to transform the structures and cultures that contribute the issues of conflict. That was the main learning that I had from my specialization. And as I'm going to be graduated today, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the management, the principal, and the faculty members and all my fellow students for the wonderful experience I had at NEISSR. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.